No shit.
Hello, Dave. How are you tonight? Welcome to Papa Lazarou'S Boxing Emporium. Tonight, for one night only, I have commandeered Andy's Cavern. He's okay. Don't you worry about Andy. I put him somewhere safe. How are you tonight, Dave? Are you all good over in Ireland? Did you get the
Well,
pegs I sent you through the post?
listen, you settle down, settle down. Look, I'm just back from Deep Pole, right? I've changed my name to Dave just for this episode, right? So you can relax. Regarding the pegs, I have not done any washing today, so it's been raining. There's no clothes on the line, but tomorrow morning I'll send you pictures. There'll be clothes on the line, and your pegs will be in use. Is that all right?
That's fantastic. I'm sure you make good use of the pegs, Dave. Top quality pegs. You're not find better nowhere.
The
Are you
best bag.
watching the boxing this weekend, Dave? We have a light heavyweight card from Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions.
Who you mean fish eyes?
Fish eyes, yeah. Or dent head, or break top, whatever everybody calls him. He's got all these names. I've never known a boxing promoter with so many names, Dave. It's incredible.
Surely you just call him Dave, no?
I would call him Dave. Dave Warren. Everybody's Dave to me, you know. And I'd saunter up to him and say, you know what, Dave? You're my wife now. How do you
There's a
think he'd
lot of
like that, Dave? Do you think he'd like a proposal from Papa Lazaro?
I think he'd love that, but um you'd need to ask him. You'd need to ask him.
The last time I tried to attend one of his shows, the security wouldn't let me anywhere near it. I don't know. I don't know why.
Did you
Perhaps
not
my
try and bribe them
reputation.
with pegs? No?
Sorry, Dave.
Did you not try and bribe them with pegs? No?
I did, but they said they already got some. And I thought, oh, well, what can I do? Not everybody needs pegs.
He probably brings all his laundry to dry cleaners, so they don't need pegs.
Perhaps, yes, he uses alternative methods of drying. Perhaps he's got a great big tumble dryer or something in his house. I imagine he has a very large house.
What a wanker.
Yeah.
Anyway, boxing. So we've got Buatsi versus what's that guy's name?
Zach
Remind me.
Parker.
Um,
Zach
yes,
Parker.
Zach Parker, right? So, um, what do you think about Buatsi? And he's obviously coming back from his loss to Callum Smith, which you know I picked Buatsi to win that fight, and obviously a lot of other people did as well because we all kind of expected Callum Smith to be at the end of his career, and well, he got the win, and it was at times that fight was close, but Callum Smith got the job done and lives to fight another day. So
Yeah, he managed to roll the clock back when everybody expected him to lose. It was a tough fight. He showed his grit. Probably the best fight on the show, perhaps, that night. It was a great fight.
yeah,
And yeah, he showed his mettle. And Buatsi showed he could hang tough too. So he also came out of the fight with some credit. Do you think so, Dave?
so this fight with Zach Parker is. Do you think this is a little bit of a build Buatsi up again? Give him a bit of confidence just to get him ready for because Callum Smith's not actually. I can't see Callum Smith down here to fight anybody. So, is this to kind of build Buatsi up, get him out, and then we'll see a rematch against Callum Smith? Do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a confidence builder. And I think Smith needs to fight too sometime soon because he's going to get ring rusty if he doesn't fight. from not fighting from February. So I think Buatsi is doing the right thing because an active fighter is a good fighter, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
and I don't think Zach Parker is I don't think I mean he's moving up in weight as far as I know. So and he's had one loss. Um, retired due to broken right hand. Some people have labeled that as a quit. I'm always quite sympathetic with things like that because you know if you think you can live another day and fight at 100% and save yourself with an injury, I understand that mentality, but I also understand the mentality of other people. So I've heard some people saying that Parker's got a bit of quit in him. So if Buatsi puts it on him, you know, he could get maybe an early stoppage or something like that, or whatever. But I don't think Zach Parker is a terrible opponent by any means. But would you say Buatsi is the favorite in this one, Papa Lazaru?
Yeah. Buatsi must be seen as the favorite, but as you say, people are sometimes too quick to judge and call people quitters. Remember Vitaly Klitschko many years ago when he fought Chris Bird, and Vitaly Klitschko tore a rotator cuff in his shoulder, and he did the wise thing and pulled out, and everybody branded him a coward. And he proved his mettle on further fights after this. But at the time, it must have hurt him. But yeah, you can't knock everybody that seemed to be deemed to be a quitter. I don't believe you will get the occasion, but if somebody's got the balls to get in the ring and have a boxing match, you gotta take your hat off to them.
Well, I think in that particular example, I watched that. I seen that clip of that not that long ago. Um, I don't think I don't think Vitaly Klitschko looked like he wanted to quit. I understand it. I understand it. And let's put it this way: Vitaly never did anything like that ever again. And he took time out. He took time out, retired partially. Partially, retired briefly to get himself right, and then he came back and he didn't lose again. So, but yeah, I see the point you're making there, and I have to agree. I think that's a little bit mean as well on Zach Parker. I don't think if he broke his hand, he broke his hand. Do you know what I mean? What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Smash your hand to bits, smash your hand to bits, and then not have the same strength in it again, and then potentially risk another injury, which then could end your career. You know, you've got to think about it. You've got to think about it. I think it's way too easy to just go. Um, it's way too easy to just go. Oh, he's a quitter. But you know what people are like. You know what people are like.
yeah,
So you've
yeah.
got Buatsi favorite for this one then.
Yeah, I got Buatsi as a favorite. I mean, I heard Frank Warren, who we talked about a moment ago. He said perhaps if Buatsi comes through his fight and Anthony Yarde comes through his fight in 3 weeks' time against David Benavidez, perhaps they could get the fight on. Yarde and Buatsi, it's been talked about many times.
Well, I mean, I know we had obviously expected to see that fight sooner. So would there be the same interest in it? Because maybe not so much with Boazzi, but are some people looking at Anthony Yarde now and thinking that he is a little bit, you know, if his star was going like that, maybe his star is kind of going like that a little bit. So trajectory of his career is on the downward side, you would say. Um, even if he was successful in his last fight. Maybe it's a little bit too late. Maybe that fight should have happened 3 or 4 fights ago. I mean, I'd still be curious, but I actually think I would pick Boazzi if that was to be made. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, Buatsi's shown his durability against Callum Smith, but Anthony Yarde has always been found to be wanting a top level when he stepped up, so perhaps it could almost be a 50-50 fight, but I would probably lean towards Buatsi.
Well, Anthony Yarde, I think, has been one of them guys that is appealed. I think I don't dislike him, right? But I kind of ended up disliking him or being made to feel like I disliked him based on the hype and a lot of the. Even if I kind of describe myself as a casual boxing fan, right, in the true sense of the word of casual, I mean, the casuals, those type of guys were like, or those type of fans would look at Yard and think, when he was sort of emerging from the scene, he was like good looking, built, good physique, has it all in spades. And then, you know, Crusher Kovalev, knocks him out and, makes him look ridiculous because he jabbed his head off all night. And then that sort of put things in perspective. And I feel like, well, I didn't necessarily believe the hype myself because that's the way you got to be wary of that type of thing. But I do think Anthony Yard has not lived up to what was being said about him. And I've sort of felt like he's had a bit of trouble in his career, a bit of inactivity. He obviously had that thing with Frank Warren, and yeah, I don't think Anthony Yard's even going to get another world title shot. Although I do see this one with Benavidez that he's down for. It says WBC World Light Heavy, but I thought Dimitri Bivol had that title, unless he has vacated. But again, that's something I haven't been made aware of. But I just think that Anthony Yard's 34 now, and he is he's had three losses. He got destroyed by Beterbiev, and I just think he's in the decline. And Buatsi, I don't think is in the decline just yet because he's younger. He's only had one defeat. He hasn't taken as much punishment. So I would make Buatsi the favorite in that. I'm sure a lot of Anthony Yard fans will disagree, but I'm just going to say this for the record. I'm not a fan of either. I think both of them are, have their pluses and minuses. I think Buatsi, he's a former Olympian, isn't he? So
Yeah,
I think he's decent, but he's just another example, but just at a different stage in his career. He's just another example of somebody who, when he was with Matchroom, he was being touted as the next big thing. But it's it's we've got a pool of UK light heavies, which makes things interesting where they could all fight each other, Lyndon Arthur, etc. But they've all fallen short when it's come to world level. So I would be interested in seeing that fight. I do think it probably held more relevance, maybe three or four fights before. But if you were to ask me who I would pick for that, I would pick Buatsi.
yeah, probably agree. I mean, it's not as long in the tooth as the Fury AJ debacle, which is becoming a saga now, Dave. Gotta be real. Excuse me, please, Dave. But, well, what can I say? Anthony Yard, he's not lived up to his poster boy image, has he? He's perhaps
Poster
shot.
boys is a good way of putting it. What way do you see Anthony Yard going against David Benavidez? Because Benavidez has basically moved up to light heavy because, well, he was being avoided by Canelo, so he's decided to move up because, well, it felt like there was a roadblock for him at super middle. So, Benavidez hasn't lost yet. So, do you give Anthony Yard a shot against them, or what way do you see that one?
I think Anthony Yard's a strong guy, but Benavides is a better boxer. So I probably pick Benavides to do him over the distance. But what I would say is something came into my head about uh, Bivol. perhaps having to relinquish a belt because he was having a rematch with Beterbiev instead of facing his mandatory. So perhaps that's why Benavides has the title. I can't just quite remember. Does it tell you on BoxRec, Dave?
I actually had a look, and it did not say anything like that on BoxRec for Bivol. Maybe we can ask some nice people in the comments to inform us. It kind of annoys me because some things like that just get slip under the radar. So I mean, um, there's Bivol, and I don't see. Just trying to scan through quickly here. I don't see any mention of relinquishing belt. Just says the last fight, which was February actually as well. So he's kind of in the he's kind of in the Callum Smith camp there in terms of inactivity. But it says he just won the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, IBO, and ring light heavyweight titles. So that's why I thought he had the WBC, and I would expect BoxRec to tell me that if Anthony Yarde is going in against Benavides, and that's for the WBC title, that would be for an interim belt. So you could be right. I'll be honest with you as well. I'm a bit surprised that Anthony Yarde's getting a title shot after beating Lyndon Arthur, because I don't think I don't think that fight flattered him, to be honest. And I think people expected, because he beat Lyndon Arthur by KO in their second fight. I think people were expecting him to blow Lyndon Arthur away, and it didn't happen. I was actually quite pleased to see that, actually, because I don't mind Lyndon Arthur. I like the fact that, well, I like the fact that he got the upset against Yarde the first time. So I have to say, if Anthony Yarde is going in for WBC title, then he's quite lucky.
I think the last time I seen you fight, perhaps the fight before he fought Lyndon Arthur the last time, and he didn't impress me at all. He seemed very lackluster, you know.
Yeah. Well, I have to agree. I have to agree with that. I'm just double checking. That's kind of annoying me about that Bivol thing because, um, well, if he is relinquished that belt, that's really some news that I haven't heard. Um, no, doesn't say anything.
Please let
Um,
us know in the comments section, and I'm sure when Andy's back, he might answer. Because
I just
as I
want
say, I'm only here for one night only. Happy Halloween, everybody!
I just want to make sure though, because I don't really trust you. Is Andy
What
all
do you
right?
mean? Oh yeah, he's Andy's safe. Don't you worry about Andy. He's in the cupboard there. All right, Andy, I'll let you out tomorrow after midnight. After the
Right.
witching hour, you'll be
Do me
free,
a favor.
free again.
Do me a favor and make sure you feed him. All right.
Oh yeah, but Andy likes doing a bit of intermittent fasting, so he'll be okay.
So I mentioned Lyndon Arthur. Obviously when we were talking about Anthony Yarde. So you're picking Benavidez against Yarde. So
Yes.
Lyndon Arthur's fighting tomorrow night as well. Um, and that's probably a more interesting fight, I think, just because it's for the EBU. So if Lyndon Arthur beats Bradley Ray and gets the EBU title, that also puts him in with another potential world title shot.
Perhaps he could get a big fight in Riyadh, get himself some money in his pockets, you know. After all, it is prize fighting, as they say. It's a short career, Dave. They need to make the
It's
money when they can. But it all depends on Turkey Al Sheikh. He holds all the purse strings in boxing. I think perhaps he's kind of shutting down the tap of money for a little bit, you know. The prize funds are not what they were when they started this game in Riyadh.
I think he's been a little bit all flash with the cash, and now he's like, I've got to be a little bit more savvy on how I'm spending my dough.
Yeah, perhaps his paymasters are saying, here, Turkey, calm it down with the money. These guys ain't getting all that money, you know. Pay them
Most
in
people I
pegs,
know,
Dave.
most people I know eat turkey. What about you?
I love a good turkey dinner, and we're coming into that time of year again, you know. But I don't think I eat turkey out of shake. He don't look like that tasty to me, Dave.
You think he'd be more like turkey's delight rather than turkey dinner, though?
Turkey's delight, perhaps, yeah. He also likes to hold the hand of the Frank Warren man, doesn't he?
He likes holding out fish eyes, so he does.
Yeah, bricked up, but he has so many names, Frank Warren. He's a character in the boxing world for the last, what, 50 years. He's been around a long time. He must be deemed as the number one promoter. He has the biggest stable. Eddie Hearn, he is. Where is he now?
Uh that side of things is boring though. I mean,
Yeah. We
yeah,
want
we'll
something
leave talking about promoters, the other channels.
Yeah, we want to talk about the boxing itself, not the bullshit.
So this Bradley Ray guy, he is 21-1. He's 27, so he's quite a bit younger than Lyndon Arthur. He's got one loss, and it was a unanimous decision over Tyler Denny, believe it or not.
Ah,
Um, do you think Lyndon Arthur will capture the EBU title tomorrow, or do you think Bradley Ray will beat him?
I would rather see Arthur win, but perhaps I follow. Andy likes a draw, doesn't he? Perhaps it could be money to win on a draw. I like to win the money, but I don't know. And also, I don't want to sit on the fence, Dave, because I don't want splinters in my ass. So perhaps I gotta go with someone, so I go with Lyndon Arthur to be victorious. Perhaps on
Well,
points.
that always pisses me off about Andy because you're right, he loves a good splinter up the arse.
He's
And
all
you know
right
what?
tonight. He's in the cupboard.
He
Ain't
always
no
gets
splinters in the
he always,
cupboard, Dave.
he always picks a draw, but he always fucking wins money as well. So yeah, I'm just a bit jealous.
Yeah, he sometimes gets lucky, but not tonight.
So if Lyndon Arthur is successful tomorrow night, do you think that puts him in line for another shot with because we don't want to see him against we don't want to see him against Anthony Yarde again, right?
No,
Um,
no, no.
do you think do you think that puts him in contention again if he gets the EBU? Because I think that's a legitimate conversation.
A good springboard into world level. Perhaps if Benavides beats Yard and Lyndon Arthur beats Ray, he could maybe fight Benavides for a world title.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, I don't mind Lyndon Arthur because he always seems like he's a bit of the underdog. So, I was pleased that he beat Anthony Yarde, and that was regarded as a bit of an upset. And then he obviously got beat in the second fight, and then the third fight was dull as dishwater. But um, I hope he gets the job done. That'll be that'll be good for him, I think. So
I think Liam Cameron is also fighting the cannonball. He also had a fight with Lyndon Arthur, and some people deemed him unlucky not to win the fight, Dave. Did you see that fight?
I didn't see it, but I was just sort of looking at Lyndon Arthur's record there, and I've seen Liam Cameron on it as well. And it says Arthur weighed in over the championship limit and was deducted 1 point for hitting his opponent after the bell in the second round. Um,
Ah,
that's interesting. That is interesting. Liam Cameron's against. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really familiar with this guy, Troy Jones. So, what do you think this is? Is this a runaround for Liam Cameron, or is this just is he going in there for fodder against Troy Jones, or is he? Because this guy Troy Jones has only got one loss.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be a chance for Cameron to get back in the game if he takes it serious, you know. But
Do
I
you think?
also see another light heavyweight from Scotland, Willie Hutchinson, being quite vocal about Ben Whitaker this week. So I don't know if he's angling for a fight with him. Uh, that would be a big step up for Whitaker at this time, I think. What do you think, Dave?
But do you think Willie Hutchinson though is another one who is like we've had this pool of light heavies, and we all were like, a lot of stuff was being said about them all, and they've all fallen short. They've, they're all pretty much around the same level, for lack of a better description, and they've all
Yeah.
fallen short level, which makes things interesting because it means it puts the domestic scene like well, it makes that interesting. Um,
You
because
could have
I
a
actually
round robin, Dave, with all these fighters fighting each other. What now with promoters working together? And we could
well now
have
that
really interesting fights, yeah.
now that they've all had a loss, yeah, I mean they should all get stuck in, rather than being very precious about their unbeaten records. They don't really need to worry about that now. I did think Willie Hutchinson was gonna. I thought Willie Hutchinson was gonna go on. I mean, there's still time for him yet, but I think obviously did he lose against Buatsi?
Yeah, I believe he did. He looked, and I think in that fight, he was doing okay, but he looked weak. I felt in that particular fight, but he had a good fight there a few weeks ago in Glasgow, and he put on a good performance. I can't remember the opponent's name, but he looked much better.
Yeah.
Hey, Tic Tac, Simba, don't hit the giant. Leave him alone. Sorry. Sorry, Dave. I'm messing around. I'm
I
messing
know,
around.
I know.
Even Papa Lazarou'S busy. When the cat's away, the mice will play.
Do you think this fight then is to elevate Liam Cameron, or like what is this kind of fight at this stage in Liam Cameron's career? He's had seven losses.
Yeah,
More,
perhaps they're putting him in as an opponent, and it's up to him to upset the apple cart, isn't it? I mean, when he fought Whitaker, Whitaker pulled him over out of the ring and feigned injury. That that should have been Cameron's victory. He was coming on strong, but then the next fight, unfortunately, he fell short.
well, the thing is, though, he yeah, we were all laughing at the Ben Whitaker WWE antics, but to be fair, and I can't stand him. Just saying it, I can't stand him. Um, he categorically uh resolved that problem by knocking Liam Cameron out. So, I mean,
Yeah, redeemed himself in good fashion, Dave.
you what?
He redeemed himself in good fashion, I thought myself.
So, like, where does that put Ben Whitaker then? Maybe Ben Whitaker should start taking on some of these, like, stalwarts of the domestic scene. Why doesn't Ben Whitaker now? What is Ben Whitaker's record? Ben Whitaker could start getting in with the Lyndon Arthurs and the Anthony Yardes, or do you think it's too soon? He's at
Uh,
9-1, 9-0-1, so
he
one
got to
drop.
step up now, Dave. I think he got to get his skates on and fight somebody. If he's going to be the big star he says he is, he needs to prove it. Prove it. There's proofs in the pudding, Dave.
Do you think Ben Whitaker is a big fanny?
A big fanny.
Yeah.
My God, Dave, you have a way with words. Yeah, I think he's a fanny, Whitaker. But he needs to cut out all the antics and concentrate on his boxing. There's an old fellow in Scotland here, Frankel Feather. You maybe seen him in a legend. Almost 80-year-old. You see him hit a punch bag. He don't like Ben Whitaker. He say Ben Whitaker got to cut out the antics and concentrate on the boxing. And that's why I agree with Frank. He's talks a lot of sense, Dave.
Well, do you think Ben Whitaker would be more popular if he cut out the shit then?
Yeah, I mean, people got to see him lose, and you should want people who are going to see you win. I remember James DeGale at a similar time in his career. Everybody boo him, and then Ben Whitaker could have the same thing. He was getting booed out of the ring after the Cameron first fight,
Is
wasn't he?
that James DeGale, aka BKB? James DeGale? Is that who you're talking about?
The very same, Dave, the very same. I don't like the BKB. It's too much eye poking and dangerous. Dangerous game. It's not for me.
It's like this, isn't it? It's like,
Oh, it's painful, very painful, Dave. I see the heavyweight champion, the Aspinall. He got a finger in the eye at the UFC at the weekend there, and it was horrific.
yeah. What can I say? I'm not a fan of either of those sports. What can I say? I'm
Now,
a
like
wimp.
yourself, Dave, I am a pure boxing fan. I'm not keen on the other stuff.
So that's pretty much. I mean, obviously, there's more fights on the undercard. There's there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight more bouts on the undercard, but the top three are the main ones. So you've got um, you've got Buatsi then against Parker. Is that right?
Yeah,
Right,
Buatsi to
and then
win.
you've got Arthur to win against Bradley Ray,
Yes, I'm going with Arthur. Yeah,
and then you've got Liam Cameron. You think Liam Cameron's going to beat this Troy Jones, or do you think Liam Cameron is done?
I think I'm going to go with Jones. I'm going to be controversial, Dave.
That's just like you to be controversial, Papa Lazari.
I don't know why I see as such a controversial character, Dave, but I don't know. People try to avoid me, when they see me in the street, they cross the road. They say, oh, no, he's going to sell us more pegs. And I say, no, no pegs today. I'm only just going to mind my own business. But what can I say? My reputation precedes me.
You don't think you don't think it's anything to do with kidnapping people's wives, no?
Well, I got to keep the mind working, Dave, the mind of wives. It's my mind. And it's full of my wives, Dave. But what it, people think the League of Gentlemen no more. They think Papa Lazarou no more. But will tell you different. I still come out one day a year. It's Halloween, eh, Dave?
Oh my God. You're one evil bastard, you know that?
No,
Right?
he'll be okay. He'll be safe tomorrow, Dave. After the witching hour, the witching hour, midnight, he'll be out again.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. So,
Anyway, Dave, it looks like we're coming up against the hard stop, and we're going to probably have to call it a night. But I want to say a big thank you to you, Dave, for coming on to Papa Lazarou'S Boxing Emporium for his Halloween special. And I'll say thank you to Andy when I let him on a cover, Dave.
let me tell you this. If I don't see Andy back in the cavern, I'll be coming to get you, mate.
You'll have to wait till next Halloween, Dave. Okay, everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe to Andy's Cavern Boxing. Until next Halloween, from me, Papa Lazaro, and from Dave, it's good night, Dave.
Good night, Papa Lazari. Good night.
Take care, everybody. I'll see you next year.
Easy, Papa Lazari.
Bye for now, Dave.